Welcome to the July 15th Stilt Home discussion. So I went on to ChatGPT, uh, Florida Flood Zone Guide on ChatGPT 4.0, and I said, teach me about stilt homes. And here's what it spit out. Obviously, it's the insurance benefit, it's the benefit of not being in the flood zone, lower flood insurance costs, reduced flood damage, compliance with FEMA and local codes, potential for scenic views in coastal areas. The drawbacks: higher construction costs, accessibility challenges for the elderly and disabled may require special permitting. Would you like to explore how stilt homes affect flood insurance premium in specific flood zones? Or are you curious about building a stilt home? Tell me about the west coast of Florida. So let's see what ChatGPT has to say about stilt homes. VE is very bad, high velocity coastal flood zones. You're going to have much higher cost insurance. If you don't know about the firm maps, that's the FEMA maps from post 1993, you won't really have much to deal with as long as you buy a post 1993 house. Would you like a breakdown of specific counties? Tell me about Tampa Bay. Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco counties. Older homes built before 1980 are often or at below base flood elevation and now face much higher flood insurance premiums. Pre-firm is before the FEMA maps were created. All right, so if you're watching this video, you're probably not looking at that. You're probably looking at what can you learn from the content that I'm about to provide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here into water frontage, and I'm going to do canal salt water. They don't have a button that says Gulf access or ocean access, so I'm just going to use that button. And there are some other buttons, and if you watch my videos, you know I'm very big on getting the buttons right. So there's 1,517 properties that are on Gulf Access Waterfront Canal. And what we want to do is we want to look at the ones that are multi-storied. So let's put in the two-story houses. That brings us down to 208. Of course, we're willing to buy a three-story house, so let's jump up to 268 properties that we can consider. Now, there are a lot of properties that were built before 1993 that are multi-storied, but they're not going to fit the bill of the reason I take it that you're watching this video, and that is to avoid the higher price flood insurance, to get a more modern structure. And let's go ahead and do everything after 1993. Now, you have to be careful. It's August, September of 1993. So if you buy something built in January through July or August, you may not have one of the homes that are built to the new flood standards. So there's 152 properties. I'm going to arbitrarily pick a price. Let's go below 1.1 million. It brings us down to 43 properties. And let's just look at them on the map. This is what you can buy in Florida right now for under $1.1 million. A couple of them up here on the Palm Coast, quite a few here in the Tampa Bay region, and some down here in Port Charlotte area. So let's look at them. And let's jump to the list. So the cheapest one is in St. James City. Then we have Hernando Beach, Boardwalk. So let's go ahead and take a look at these properties. So you have to come out here and come around and then go out to get into the Gulf. Or there's probably a way here. Okay, I'm not familiar with Cape Coral, but there's one in Cape Coral for $419,000. It's been on the market for 88 days. I'd love. Oh, it's pre-construction to be built. So we got to ponder whether that price is just a lure them in price. And oh, did you want a kitchen? That's an extra 100,000. All right, here we have a Hernando property. Let's go ahead and look at the map on this. Hernando has a unique situation. Is they have a boat lift that you have to go through to get to the Gulf. It's right here. So this property does not. You don't have to go and take the lift, and then you have to go under the bridge. So these properties here are less desirable. These properties up here are very okay. So for $460,000. This has been on the market for 160 days, and that's because probably it's only a two-bedroom, and people don't want two-bedroom homes as much as they want multifamilies. Okay, not multifamilies, but three-bedroom minimum. All right, this is on the Anclote River. The Anclote River is very interesting. When Helene flooded, the water came up the channel here, and then it spread out. So it didn't have enough time to really flood the homes along Rushmore and Melaleuca and Flora Avenue. There was some pretty terrible flooding over here on some of the mobile home communities there. But I think this is a townhouse, I guess, is what you call it. And there was a fire over there, and a number of them got burnt down. But that's what this gap is. There, some of them burnt down. So anyway, this is $479,000. It's only been on the market for 20 days. It doesn't have a HOA fee, and to me, this is very interesting. This is very attractive. This is a great location. It's got easy access to Pinellas County. All right, here's another Hernando Beach property, 485,000. We're going to take a look at it to see where it is. And it is below the boat lift. So this property and all these properties, beautiful properties. The problem is your boat has to climb onto this, and it gets transferred across that, and then you have to go under this bridge. But $485,000. It's a 3, 2.5, a 2-car garage. If you're just going to get a paddle boat or something, and you're going to go out and cruise the canals, and you're never going to need to go out into the Gulf, this is a great deal. Be hard on the resale, but there's a lot of properties in here. They're very attractive, and I'm not sure everybody bought knowing that they were going to have a challenge as far as Gulf access goes. Now we're in. Oh yeah, I looked at this. So interestingly, there's only one in this price range, a 2000 built property. Oh, it's supposed to be single family homes. I took out the condos and but this one snuck in. This one's only $150 a month. I ponder that. 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, great location. Fort Myers, we have $529,000. Hudson in Signal Cove. This is a neighborhood of mobile homes, and they're marketing it as a 2007 single family home. Been on the market for 15 days, $575,000 to be in a community of mobile homes on the water. Hernando Beach South. So this one again is going to have to go over the. They don't have it on here. That it has to go over the boat lift. Ruskin, let's call it $600,000. Been in the market for 134 days. This is Hernando Beach again. We don't have to keep looking to see. If it's below the lift, then it may not be for you. if you can get a great deal for $630,000, I would want to be above the lift so that I could get my boat out in the Gulf. The lift evidently goes down now and then. Here's Hernando Beach again. Lovely looking home. And it is above the lift. So this is a desirable $650,000. It's been on the market for 57 days. Bluefish. I've looked at this picture before. It's a beautiful house, but is it below or above the? So this is substandard in my opinion. I mean, I'll be happy to help you with it if you want to buy it. It's a glorious house. It's just, if you're a boater, it's probably not for you. Okay, we're going to go through a whole bunch of Hernando Beach houses. Okay, Judy. This is a interesting property. It's got a 1,000 square foot footprint. It's got an elevator. I was the listing agent on this back in 2008 in the worst market in the world, and I could not sell it for $350,000. But it's a great access. Now, when you're on this side of the canal, on this side of the water, and you're nearest to 19, it's easy to get in and out by car. But when you're down here at the end, you drive in your car. But if you're down here, you drive in your boat. So you have a choice. You can be close to 19 and have a long boat ride, or you can be close to the Gulf for another 500 grand or more and have a long car ride. One of the many aspects of buying waterfront. There's the other Judy. There are two Judys. Hudson Beach, Driftwood Isles, great location. The problem is the footprint on this house is such that it's just got a tiny little bit of waterfront. But this is a newer home. There it is. See the little tiny bit of waterfront. Does have a floating dock. This is $689,000. It's been on the market for 115 days. And this is a great set of channels here. You do come out this way, and you come here, you go here, you come around, and then you take the main channel going out. This is the channel going out. There's not a lot of water here above Driftwood, so the Gulf access is not great, but this is fine. This is fine Gulf access. Hernando Beach again, 690,000, 699,000. Apollo Beach, 749,000. So you have a lot of choices in this price range. Another Hernando Beach. Now, anytime we do a discussion, we always want to look at the pendings and the solds in the criteria. Right now, there's 4 properties that are pending. Let's take a look at what, there were, 44 properties, and there once was 48. These are the 4 that went under contract first, or most recently. $819,000, almost a year on the market. Interesting that nothing in St. Augustine came up on that other list at where we got Bradenton, $899,000 in 213 days. This one went under contract in 4 days. I'm sure this is it does have, you're on the channel, you're not on the bigger water. But Sarasota is a great city, lots to do, lots to offer, great lifestyle. Hernando Beach again, but nothing to worry about here getting out. This is actually very attractive, and this went under contract at $1,075,000. All right, finally, whenever we do a market analysis on a particular criteria, we have to look at the solds. There have been 30 solds. 6 months takes us back to January, which means that these are all post-Helene, post-Milton. Every one of these properties transacted with the people knowing that there was a fairly devastating storm that occurred. Now, they did all buy Stilt homes, and that's why you're looking at this, I assume, because a Stilt home is is on your list. Oh, this one, I saw this when it was active. It went for $10,000 more than the asking price. And this access is you go around here, go under there, under the bridge, and it's probably fairly loud. Well, they've got those townhouses in the way to block the sound, but anyway, this is it. The cheapest Gulf access Stilt home built in 2006 went for $275,000. You cannot beat that. One has to be the cheapest. That's it. 400 grand sold for 365 in Weeki Wachee. Weeki Wachee's got great water, but it could be a long way to the Gulf depending where you are. This was 550,000, sold for 500,000 in 49 days. And this is on the I want to say that's the Hillsborough River. And let's see if they advertised it that way. Canal saltwater. Well, anyway, it's a sold, so you can't buy this one. Let's run through these because I'm taking too much time. Ruskin, 589, sold for 550 in 243 days. 584,000, sold for 550,000 in 59 days. 605,000, sold for 10,000 less in 48 days. 795,000, sold for $747,500. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 183 days. We hadn't been looking at the sold price per square foot, but this is $214, and that's a low number. Okay, we'll grab the next one just randomly. $820, or $820,000. They were asking $900,000. This is $405 a square foot. This is $320 a square foot. $366 a square foot. $303 a square foot in Flagler Beach, asking 1.1, sold for $1 million. But you can tell this is a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom. There's really no reason to look at it except it's so interesting. And that's a great location on the intercoast, on the Matanzas River. Obviously, I'm showing that I do not know this area. This is the Atlantic Ocean over here, baby. I do know that is a big ocean. All right, Flagler Beach. I've been there, going down A1A. I don't know that market, so don't rely on me for that. But Newport Richey is my world. This is in Gulf Harbors. Let's take a quick look at this. This is a sold. But if you buy in Gulf Harbors, that's this community here, all the way up here, and anywhere around here, then you can join the beach. This is a private beach right here. You can see there's a gate. It's a manned gate, right? They took the man out. All right, so you've got to have a key card or something. But this beach is available to those who join the beach. It's $120 a year now, unless it went up. Let's see if I can pull it out really quick. They didn't include it. Usually it'll say beach membership available for extra fee. Anyway, Gulf Harbors Woodlands, great neighborhood. Remember, Gulf Harbors, it's also known as Florimar. And if you want to go shopping in that area, I'm happy to help. This is $1,030,000, sold for $1,030,000. This is the second time it was on the market during this last, call it, year. It sold in one day. Hernando Beach, I looked at this. This is very easy Gulf access, $1,050,000, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Works out to $377 a square foot. And then finally, we have Inglewood, sold for $480 a square foot. All right, I'd like to invite you to get to know me a little bit. Know, like, and trust. That's a secret to deciding who's your realtor. This is one of my passions. This is Cody River stand-up paddleboard, SUP. This is me paddleboarding and enjoying the good life on the river in Florida. Please like my Cody River SUP. Now, right now, you're watching this on my YouTube channel. I have a little bit of content on here. In fact, let me just show you how to use the site. If you want to look at Stilt homes, you can just type in Stilt And there's 5 videos over time about Stilt homes, what's available, what they're selling for. If you want to look at flood homes, I have a little bit of content about flood zones and flood homes. If you want to know about various like owner financing, or vacant land. I'm big onto vacant land. I've done quite a bit of content on vacant land. If you want tutorials, if you have an interest in knowing about the realtor lawsuit that changed the way that we do business, this is a pretty terrific video. I know I wrote it. Realtor lawsuit and buyer's brokers agreement. If you're going to come down here and shop, you got to watch this video because you're going to have to sign a buyer's broker agreement. You're not going to understand why, and you're going to feel I mean, people don't want to sign these agreements, and I discuss it in that video. I invite you to look at it. Um, and finally, on Facebook, I post all my content. If you don't want to go on YouTube, the name of my company is Florida Real Estate Partners, and I post all of my, not all my content, but a lot of my content ends up on this page. And if you decide to subscribe to the page, you don't need to look at everything I post. This is for everybody. What's going to happen is now and then you're going to see something that says, wow, that's interesting. What's Randy got to say now? Like buying versus renting, or how to protect yourself from deed fraud. I've got to do a video on deed fraud. It's so scary. What's up with real estate? Here's some houses I've listed. The tax reform that was in the big, beautiful bill. Uh, and then I'll go on uh, Chat GPT and I'll ask it questions and I'll post some of the answers. So feel free to reach out to me. I can, if you have a challenging real estate situation, see if I can't help you with it. And finally, let me just jump in here. 409home.com is one of my websites. I have a marketing group, and we have a number of realtors from a bunch of different companies. We all agree to market each other's properties. And right now, the marketing group is made up of EXP, Keller Williams, uh, LPT, Florida Real Estate Partners. There's 57 properties right here where we agree to market each other's properties. This is my marketing group that I formed. I ended up getting quite a few listings personally, and suddenly I'm in a situation where I need to help from buyers agents, and uh, I do welcome buyers agents to reach out when they have an interest in one of my properties. I didn't mean to click this button, but these are my solds. Most recent solds. It says there's 132, but I've transacted over 800 of them. The only reason I'm still talking is because they say that nobody watches your videos after a certain time. So I'm assuming nobody's watching this. Let me go ahead and put up my contact information. Here we go. And if you have an interest in down payment assistance, I've got some videos on that. If you have an interest in talking real estate, I'm here to help. Appreciate the opportunity. Wish you the best.